Call this meeting to order. Let's do the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Can I get a roll call?
Yes, you can. Mr. Huff?
Yep.
Mr. Butler?
Yes.
Mr. Cole?
Yes. Okay.
All right, at this time, I want to swear in or give the oath of oath of affirmation of office for Tina Cox. I, Tina Cox,
I, Tina Cox,
do solemnly affirm that I will support,
that I do solemnly affirm that I will support,
protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States
protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
and the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
and I will discharge the duties of my office as Township Fiscal Officer
and that I will discharge the duties of my fiscal office of Township Fiscal Officer
with fidelity,
with fidelity,
that I have not knowingly violated
that I have not knowingly violated any
election law of the State of Ohio
election law of the State of Ohio,
or procured it to be done by others in
Or-
my behalf,
or procured it to be done by others in my behalf,
that I will not knowingly receive directly or indirectly any monies or valuable thing
that I will not knowingly receive directly or indirectly any money or valuable thing
for the performance or non-performance of any act or duty pertaining to my office,
for the performance or non-performance of any act or duty pertaining to my office,
other than the compensation allowed by law, so help me God.
other than the compensation allowed by law, so help me God. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, 4
I
more
just need
years.
2 witnesses on that.
Okay.
Okay, need to approve the minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve the Morgan Township Board of Trustee minutes dated March the 11th, 2024, as written.
Second,
Mr. Cole?
Yes.
Mr. Brucker?
yes.
Mr. Huff?
Yes.
Motion approved.
I can approve the warrants.
I'll make a motion to approve the payment listing from 3/12/2024 through 3/25/2024. Payment number 218-2024 through 260-2024. Warrant number 12562 through 12579 for a total of $51,207.47.
Second?
Mr. Brucker?
Yes.
Mr. Cole?
Yes.
Mr. Huff?
Yes.
Motion approved.
Okay, we'll go to the fire department. Mark?
Well, introduce him first.
What?
Go ahead and introduce him.
Oh.
This is his first meeting.
Be easy. Introduce our new fire chief, Mark Mary.
Well, thank you. Appreciate that, sir.
Do you have a report?
I do, yes, sir. So first thing I want to report on, I am very pleased to be here with you guys. Thank you very much for putting your trust in me. I've spent almost 25 years in the fire service, and this is just a wonderful opportunity for me. I've been working with you guys for a few years now in other capacities. You have a fantastic team, a wonderful township, and your citizens are just fantastic to be with. So with that, I would like approval of a 5-year contract with Aladtech TCP. If the contract isn't approved, then there will be minimum of 8% contract prices yearly over the next 5 years. If you sign a 5-year contract, the raise in contract pricing will be 4%, 4, 3, 3, and 3 over the next 5 years. And that's what I would present to you.
What exactly is this for?
So this is our scheduling and management software where we track all of our supplies, all of our engine and medic inventories.
Currently, what are we paying for that?
Chief, do you know that currently?
The new bill we just received on, they call it step up percent, is $3,100 a year. They're offering us they're gonna raise everybody's 8% a year for 5 years, and if you know amortization, that's a big increase. It's eight, the 8 keeps
Right.
going. In your packet is the proposed.
Okay,
The top one is the percents if we do not do a 5-year contract. The bottom one is what we'll pay if we do. And you see over 5 years, there's a significant savings there. We would never switch from it. It has all our information. There's just no way, and it's the #1 scheduling package in the country. It's used by most fire departments. We would never go away with it. So it's just a cost savings, and they're trying to lock people in. And they offered 5, 5, 5, and 5, and I beat them down to that. Because it's like buying a car, there's room to negotiate. I didn't take his first bid.
so currently our price was 3,100?
$3,100 a year.
So if we go with the 8% step up, or I guess prorated rate increases,
Yes.
at the end of 5 years will actually only be $200 more than what our current bill is? Is that right?
Is that what the 5-year at 4%?
336828.
Yeah.
So we're actually saving money the first
You're saving all 5 years because
3 years.
if you don't, it's going to go 8 every year. And if you amortize that, that's 24. I mean, that's a huge cost, as you see there.
Oh, yeah.
So,
I'll make a motion to approve the 5-year contract with LadTech TCP with the percentage raises of 4, 4, 3, 3, and 3.
Second?
Mr. Brooker?
Yes.
Mr. Kolb?
Yes.
Mr. Huff?
Yes.
Motion approved.
Thank you, gentlemen. I'm also seeking permission to enter into a contract with MSAR. MSAR does our cot maintenance and repair for our power cots and load systems. The price structure is attached in the paperwork given to the board in your packets. They've acquired and consolidated a lot of their rivals, and that's who a number of the organizations throughout the county utilize for their cot service, repair, and maintenance.
So moved?
Second?
Mr. Kolb?
Yes.
Mr. Huff?
Yes.
Mr. Brooker?
Yes.
Motion approved.
Now we're getting a little back feed.
Thank you. The next item that I have is just a informational item for you. We have resumed transport to Westchester Hospital as our designated ground transport for traumatic events. For trauma patients, Kettering Health Hamilton closed their trauma center status, and we are now going to be going to Westchester for any time that
Hamilton doesn't have one anymore?
well, Fort Hamilton still has an emergency room, but they've closed their trauma center status.
Okay.
Chief, that would be in lieu of a helicopter
That's
lift,
correct.
right?
That's correct.
You wouldn't
And
go all that way for a traumatic injury on the road.
It all
right?
depends. I mean, it all depends upon weather. It all depends upon time of day. Just a number of different factors of when our folks would do a ground transport versus air medical transport, and they're really good at making those decisions.
Okay.
So just an FYI for all of you. Also, over the next 2 weeks, we'll be conducting interviews for our officer vacancies. We're interviewing 9 candidates for 3 captain positions and 4 candidates for 1 or 2 lieutenant positions. Also, we've made some adjustments in our current LadTech software, just taking off some daily labels, and Chief Griff has done a great job with this, just reevaluating how we're utilizing little add-ons. So he's able to save almost $1,000 just by taking off a few labels that are a la carte with them. The next thing that I have is I'm requesting that you guys approve a 7-year raise for Jeff Maddox. He's due his 30-cent raise to $19.40, effective March 31st, 2024.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Kolb?
Yes.
Mr. Brooker?
Yes.
Mr. Huff?
Yes.
Motion approved.
I'm also asking for another motion for a 1-year raise for Mr. Steve Locke, 30 cents to $19.30, effective March 31st,
Yes.
Yeah.
2024.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Brooker?
Yes.
Mr. Kolb?
Yes.
Mr. Huff?
Yes.
I'm also
Motion approved.
asking for a motion for a 1-year raise for Mr. Brad Owens, 30 cents to $17.30, effective March 31st, 2024.
So moved?
Second.
Mr. Kolb?
No.
Oh, Mr. Huff?
Yes.
Mr. Brooker?
Yes.
Mr. Kolb?
Yes.
Motion approved.
And the last motion that I'm asking for is for a 1-year raise for Mr. Travis Ross, 30 cents to $17.30, effective March 31st, 2024.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Kolb?
Yes.
Mr. Brucker?
Yes.
Mr. Huff?
Yes.
Motion approved.
I don't believe the Assistant Fire Chief has anything to report tonight, but I would request a purchase order for a lad tech, since you guys approved the 5-year contract for $2,963.90 for fire department scheduling and records management software.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Brucker?
Yes.
Mr. Kolb?
Yes.
Mr. Huff?
Yes.
Motion approved.
And the only other thing I have left is I have a request to go into executive session at the end of the meeting to consider the appointment, employment, dismissal, discipline, promotion, demotion, or compensation of a public employee or official, or the investigation of charges or complaints against a public employee, official, licensee, or regulated individual, unless the employee, official, licensee, or regulated individual request a public hearing by Division G1 of Section 121.22 of the revised code.
So moved. Oh, well, we'll do it when we, we'll do it.
Chief, just a question.
Yes, sir.
I know you're splitting your time.
Yes, sir.
What hours do we have you through the week in the township?
Well, that's flexible right now, and unless you guys want differently. But I'm coming in some hours almost every afternoon right now. Like yesterday, I worked a 24-hour shift, so I was there all day yesterday.
Okay.
Still doing some overnights, still doing most afternoons, and
Don't burn out now.
available by phone call. I'm good for a couple more weeks, and available by phone call whenever needed.
Okay, so that's something that we're formalizing, and as you see the emergencies, or you see the needs, or your role as the chief is demanded, you're available, is what you're telling me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And then also, Chief Griffith's been coming in during the days as well.
Okay, great.
To assist during the week when
Okay.
I'm not available and I'm at my full-time employment.
Okay.
And he was on a run.
I was, so I
So
made
you-
2, 3.
Amen. Hey,
Amen.
way to go.
So just to clear that up, the red vehicle is at my house.
Okay.
I'm in the township. I'm semi-retired, so I can respond from my house. So that vehicle just stays in the township.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd like to recognize to the public too that Jeff Griffin is our assistant chief now, behind the chief minute here, right? Yeah, I'm back.
Back where he belongs.
Welcome aboard.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it very much.
All right. Is that it? Yep, thank you. Okay. Jeff, you wanna?
Yeah,
Sandy?
yeah. So
Okay.
I'll frame this and let Sandy talk because she's the expert.
Okay.
We were looking at the RVP and we saw that there was a retention, I'm going to use the word ugly, concrete structure out there, which is not really what you're looking for. So we met with some subject matter experts today that can save us money and handle the water down that hill in a much more cost-efficient and natural way that will not be unsightly as a concrete bowl. Because the subject matter experts determined, and Sandy will say who they were, and I didn't realize that one guy was that famous till I saw his articles, but they looked at the water, and Rob, we wanted to get you, but you're out chopping trees. They looked at the water flow since you killed all the honeysuckle, and they have a good feeling for how much water flows down there, but I'll let Sandy take it from there. But it's an alternative to putting a big retention pond that's gonna be unsightly. I mean, and they're all for natural drainage and flow, so I'll let Sandy go from there.
Is your mic on? Push the button on the top until the light turns green. You might have to hold it. Okay. So,
Sounds like it's on.
I think it's on.
Tap it.
Tap it.
Tap it, just, nope, it's off.
Just take that one out of there for her.
That works. Okay, does this work?
Yep.
Okay. So yeah, this morning Jeff and I met with Dr. Donna McCollum, who worked at UC in Miami previously. She's a stream ecologist. And with John Costanza, who was with Pheasants Forever. I'm not sure if he still is. Yeah, I don't know everybody's background. We didn't really get into everything, but he's definitely an expert on building prairies and homes for wildlife, and he's been doing it for like 20-something years, I think he said. But anyway, we were talking about possibilities, and it seemed to make sense to them because there's not a lot of water movement, because they could tell where the water's moving everywhere. To just have like some berms at the bottom when the tree line breaks up, when there's like a gap between the tree line, you could have a berm there, maybe like more of a natural kind of trail to prevent erosion of the concrete or blacktop, and it would also create a lot of potential habitat for wildlife and be very cost effective, because you'd just be moving a little bit of earth, and it sounds like we have the equipment to do it in-house. And they said seeds for these plants would be like 200 to 300 an acre, so that's not much really compared to, I don't know, anything else we could think of, like concrete retention basins. And the root systems of these plants would keep the dirt in place and keep the runoff from going any, it would slow it down a lot versus just having concrete, which it would just flow down and eventually erode even more. So that was our recommendation and their recommendation to us. And like the top part of the back, to put some oaks back there, and like I think they said shortgrass prairie to help with bring habitat for ground nesting birds. And like down here you could have habitats for spring peepers and other frogs, gray tree frog. They said there wouldn't be a problem with them getting down here. That was just our thoughts, and it'd be something you could bring out educational groups for eventually and show them how to build these kind of habitats in their own yard. And it definitely would support pollinators and help with the local farms with pollution and water drainage and any fertilizers and other pesticides that come through here. And we wouldn't want any of that in our area treated, but it would help with the overall water quality of the area as the water runs down, versus just grass, because that's not really doing anything right now. It's not contributing to any kind of habitat or wildlife development.
Great. Okay, so go ahead, Tom.
No, so what's their extent of the work? Are they just there to offer their advice, and then we have to do the work? Will they tell us what plants we have to get and everything? And
Yeah, I actually already have a few ideas of list of what we might need, and John actually gave me an example of a project he's working on now in Camden, I think, and it's like $300 an acre, but some of the plants that he picked were much more expensive. We wouldn't necessarily have to do that. And a lot of these projects, you plant them once and that's it, and you just let them do their thing, let nature do its thing, and eventually in a few years it'll be this beautiful prairie, and you don't have to mow it all the time, just like once a year. Or we could burn it, which they were talking to Jeff about that too. Versus having to mow it like every other week or whatever it is. And you can still bale the hay, because prairie, I guess, is still really good hay. So that's an option too. They can give advice. I think Dr. McCollum said she could help with some more hands-on stuff. I think she's semi-retired now, so she has more time to.
was she here once before?
Yep, she was.
Okay, I think I met her then.
Who's it?
Yep.
She's from Miami University.
University.
Yep.
So when you do the seeds, is it an overseed, or would you want that ground turned before you plant?
Yeah, he said to do like a roundup pretty soon if you wanted to do this. Basically kill it off and then burn it if you're trying to do it really fast. Get rid of everything and plant around June 1st. and then you just let it do its thing. But if you're not in a hurry, you can just use Roundup on it a couple times this year. He gave me more specific information.
Okay.
And then next spring you could plant it. If you're okay with waiting, because he said that usually works better in the long run, but often people don't want to wait that long to start planting.
I mean, you mentioned something about mowing. It'd be a good idea to have a mow plan. What
Yeah.
do we mow? And do we let an area grow natural? Because usually around here, if you let it grow natural, you're going to get trees. You're going to get the Bradford pears and all of that, which turns it into this was all forest here. I mean, there was probably I don't know if there's how much natural that there was, but those are great ideas to think about and plan for. That's what this was all about, right? So that's great. Great update.
She called it a habitat that could be something very special in the group of all this farmland. And if you just build these little, Rob, it's just basically steps down the thing, and they're berms, they fill up and they trickle down, and it just kind of breaks the flow of the water. You don't need to do it. She says, in all her area of expertise, you don't need a retention pond there. That these naturally, with plantings, will handle the water flow that she saw. And she took into account all of it, and what was there. And you save some money and appearance.
Do we have a habitat figured into all of this to attract any different type of bird, which would require a typical or suitable habitat or a house, or are we thinking about bats or to attract any kind of specifics?
Yeah, all of that's a possibility for
Okay.
sure. They mentioned you could have like bluebird boxes, and prairies are pretty rare in Ohio, and they didn't naturally occur here, but like 98% were destroyed throughout the whole U.S. So there's a big movement to try to build more back and build that habitat, especially for ground nesting birds and pollinators. And of course, with farmlands, pollinators are really important.
Well, this is exactly what Metro Parks is looking for, like I had mentioned to you about trying to fund. We can get funded up to $25,000. It's $5,000 from the meeting the other night, but we can submit five different programs. So we could be looking at a nice addition to what's planned for back there.
Because your other one could be, if you do the berms, what do they call those? What is frog? Anyway.
All of the spring peepers.
Yeah, you could attract those with that, and so that would be another one, but that would make a habitat for those frogs and such that would be.
I'll give you all the frogs.
No, they're special frogs.
Did they share a plan, did they write out anything for us, or
Yeah.
just specify line items that we need?
Yeah, I have an
Okay.
email I can send to you with some articles that John actually wrote for Pheasants Forever. So he seems like
Pheasants?
Yep.
Oh, no kidding.
So he seems super knowledgeable. I had no idea that he was that widely known. But yeah, I guess he just lives up the street too, and just.
In this township? Here?
I'm not sure if he lives in this township or not. Yeah,
Okay.
it's not far.
Okay. Fantastic.
Is that it?
Anything else?
No, I wish I had a playground.
Do you want to
report,
introduce
but I
your
don't.
partner here?
Yeah, this is my son Max.
Hey, Max.
In many ways, he's responsible for me being here and for the playground, because
Yeah.
he met the donor's daughter in preschool, and the rest is history. You could
That's a
say.
great story. You're gonna
Yeah.
have to share that sometime.
Thanks, Max.
Yes.
Do we have any idea when that could go for the playground? Are they,
I don't know.
okay.
I've tried to get in touch with them, so I have to think of some other options. You
Okay.
guys might have to reach out to them. I don't know.
Is it Angles or is it the company?
It's the Angles, but I'm sure Stevie, who runs Diamond, I'm sure you could get in touch with them.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Yeah,
Thanks, Max.
Thank you.
Anybody, any suggestions or questions from the audience on the part? Okey doke. Let's go to the road department. Rob?
Well, first off, wanted to congratulate Mr. Minery. Just offer my services if you need anything. Trucks looking to get worked on, the same as I offered to Jeff and everybody else. So, again, congratulations and welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Don't really have much.
Is your mic on?
All I've been doing is doing our tree trimming for the last 2 weeks. And basically that's about all that I have, unless the guys, you have something for me that you need answered or whatever. We've just been,
Have you been following those, any of the tree service guys around?
no, I've been trying to stay away from them.
Oh.
That way they're doing their thing and I'm doing my thing, so.
Okay.
Yeah, ODOT's been out. I taled to you about the one
Right.
on 748.
Right, so
There's
just
some
to.
upset people up there that,
We did some serious tree trimming on Howard's Creek Road, a little bit on Howard Road. We finished up Race Lane today. We did some major cutting, and I believe, Tom, you had got with me about a tree that is like it was split, looked like a Y, and when the wind would blow, you would see it kind
On
of
Howard's
split
Creek?
No, on Race Lane.
Race Lane,
Yeah.
Race Lane, yeah.
Well, we took care of that today,
Okay.
so now that lady will not, I
Okay.
don't know who
Right.
the lady was. I can remember her face, but I don't remember the name.
What was it, one with possibility it was
It
gonna
was
fall?
a possibility of it falling out into the road.
Yeah.
Well, we took away that possibility today,
Oh.
so, we didn't take it all the way to the ground because we was afraid if we took the Y out, then the other part, there wouldn't be
Go
enough
the
to
other
hold
way.
it there, and that would fall on the electric lines over by the creek, so.
You took enough of the wobbly stuff off the top.
Right, and we
Yeah.
took enough off that if it does fall, it will not fall on the roadway, so.
Yeah, okay. Ah,
So we got that done. Also, we did Chapel Road from 126 down to the railroad tracks, got that all taken care of. So that's 4 roads that I have that I don't have to worry about tree limbs hitting me during ice storms or snowstorms anymore, and hopefully a few less branches falling in the road and stuff. So I have the machine for 1 more week. So we're going to go up to Northwind Road and try to do a little bit up there. And if we can make it to Weaver, we got some on Weaver we want to get to, but it all depends on how much it rains tomorrow and how much we get done tomorrow.
yeah.
But that's where we are there. So, and also I called asking with the delivery, and we're still a week to 2 weeks out on the mini excavator that we are buying. So
Okay.
that's all I have.
So I got. Okay, let's go to Dale, the zoning department.
All right, first off, as usual, the certificates, as you will see on your paper there. The latest thing was an accessory structure that will be built on Holland Lane. I wish him a lot of luck getting the wood back through there, but and everything else, but he understands that and everything else. So that's pretty much the certificates. But I expect that within the next month, things are going to blow open. I know of 2 or 3 places where the undeveloped lots, I've had people call me, what does it take to get a house? What does it take to get this? What does it take to get that? Too many to mention and even write down to even say where they're at this point in time. And you will see them as they come on to the report, okay? All right? All right. The next thing is, I gave you an extra folder, okay? It says applications for, or it says code enforcement applications. I received 4, actually, a total of 5, actually received 5 requests and only 4 have come in, okay? I would like to give this, all 3 of you have this, a folder for you to look over and everything else, and I'd like for us to set a date, not this week, but maybe next week, because one of the applicants will be out of town until Thursday of this week to begin with. If we could set a date next week to where I can call them and set up times for interviews. I'm also working on questions that to ask, and then I'm going to divide those up between you 3, and I'm going to sit back and take notes. Is that okay? And listen, of course. That's how I would like to see that conducted. All right? Any questions on this at all?
Have you talked to any of them?
I have not, the only one I've talked to is Mr. Stark, okay, only because he's come into the office. The rest of these were sent via email through putting it out on Nextdoor and on Facebook. And that, I got that
Yeah,
response.
I think I got at least 3 of them through Contact Us that
Yeah,
I
well,
had you
that's
follow up on.
The Facebook, the one on Facebook, well, the ad I put out says, go to
Okay.
our thing, and that's how to get it to them. All right, any questions further?
Yep.
All
So
right.
do you want us to come up with dates and then you follow up with setting up the interview schedule? Or
Yeah, I'd
you-
like to set, we can set it for one night or whenever, whatever you would like, okay? I don't want us coming in here every night,
Right.
2 nights maybe, 2 one night and 2 the other, or all 4 of them in one night. You guys discuss it.
Okay.
Uh,
We could start earlier in the afternoon, like 4, and like we are with the promotional interviews for the fire department. We're doing 3 nights, 4 to 9. But we got 13 candidates, so.
Yeah, I only
But
have 4.
we could do like 4 to 9 and be able to hit them all in one night if they're all available.
Okay.
That'd be ideal.
I agree with the time.
Okay.
Now, just what date would you like to do that? It's up to you guys, because
Next
Is that it,
week.
Dale?
Wait, we're
No,
looking at
I was-
dates, hold
I
on.
was letting you look at dates, guys.
Okay,
All right,
I want an answer here so I can call them, schedule them, please.
all right.
so Monday is out, we got interviews for the fire department. Is Wednesday still bad for you?
No, I can do it.
You can?
We can't do Wednesday, that's the zoning meeting, the first Wednesday.
Yeah, the first Wednesday is, yes.
Oh, okay, I do see
April the
that.
3rd is.
You want Thursday the 4th?
Thursday, April 4th?
Yep.
Yeah.
Darrell? You okay with April 4th?
Let me look here in a second. I turned it off, you know.
What time did you want to do that, in the daytime or?
You want to do like 4 to, if we can do a 4 to 8, we should be able to do them, I'd say no more than a half hour, 45 minutes, and then we
Well,
got a
that's what I
little,
was going to
Oh, no,
allocate.
you know what? I'm pretty sure that's the day I've got a doctor's appointment. The only time I got a doctor's appointment, that's that day.
early in the day or,
Thursday.
early in the day or
3
afternoon?
o'clock.
Okay.
3 o'clock, okay, so could we go later, 5? Start at 5?
We be back home by 5, you think?
Mm,
All right, hold on. Let's see what,
Let me look
That's
here.
Dale, are all these guys retired? Are they
No,
flexible?
I don't know, I don't know how flexible
how
they are
how
yet.
about Tuesday the 2nd?
Tuesday the
4th?
2nd?
Dr.
I'm open, guys, you know that.
2:30 is my appointment.
How about Tuesday the 2nd? You got anything going on Tuesday?
I don't have nothing done.
All right, let's do Tuesday the 2nd. Is
So we
that,
start at 3?
Yeah.
okay?
3 o'clock?
Try
Tuesday
to
the 2nd?
start at 3, see if you
Yeah,
can.
I can have Mr. Stark, I know he's
Okay.
most likely available.
We'll start at 3 and then try to schedule them every hour.
Every hour?
Yeah, that way we got like
The time to talk
15
about
minutes
it.
to, between them or so.
Okay, Tuesday, April the 2nd, thank you.
And if they're here and we're, we're done, we can pull them in a little early. But,
Okay, we're
all
on
right,
number.
then you'll let us know, give
Yes,
us
I
the
will.
schedule.
Yeah, I'll let you know this, I'll print it out and also email it to you. Because we'll have, something. We're down to number 4. There have not been any applications for a variance again this month, although I almost had an opportunity for one. But we sat down and we began to look. He wanted to build an accessory structure over here on Jenkins Road, which, by the way, that part of Jenkins Road that he lives on is in a subdivision area. And he had less than 200 feet of road frontage, and he was thinking he had to make the 25-foot setback, when actually he only needed to make the 15-foot setback. So we worked that out, and he doesn't have to have a variance. Finally, I didn't get the public notice for the public hearing into the journal due to time constraints. So I asked that we set April 8th or the 22nd of 2024, which is trustees' meetings. one of those to approve or modify or deny Chapter 17 of the solar regulations. You have that resolution from last meeting and everything else. Which date would you prefer? I need to get that into the paper.
We're going to do it as part of the meeting. It doesn't really matter.
Doesn't really matter that it goes in?
No.
Okay. Well, then can we do it on the 8th, which
Yeah.
is the 10 o'clock meeting then?
Yep. I'll put that on the agenda.
All right, one of the most interesting things I thought about, and I sent this to you, but I wanted you to see it a little bit further, is that the Howards Creek Estates was denied coming out of the sub-redo committee for reasons that I had attached to an email to all three of you. However, I put a copy in your folder in case you have to be a touchy-feely person and read, okay? And you will see that the biggest thing is they're having to look at is to offer a floodplain plan or model along with plans for the bridge and just several other things and to require that the homes only have access from Howards Creek Road via St. John's Way at this time. St. John's Way is what they're going to call the new road going up and everything. And then just general things like drainage, USG mapping, certain streams require water. I know the Army Corps of Engineers. And also, Mr. Minery, for you basically to understand that Jeff can bring you up to date on too as well. There will be at least 2 hydrants that I know of. They're putting in a 6-inch water line. And is it going to be 3? Is it going to be 3, you think? It needs, and we're asking for it to be 3. One at the bottom where the line comes in. There'll be one midway, and then one at the top of the cul-de-sac. Right, and everything else. That was all worked out before you were here. And anytime we do get new developments coming in, we'll always contact you on it, okay, for those reasons. Because I know of one other place that could end up being a development here soon. All right.
So
and then
how many building lots are they
7.
proposing? 7?
7, yeah. They're very hard to see on your little map there.
Right.
If you want to see a larger one I've got.
So Dale, if the staff, the preliminary plan staff denied it, do they come back with a revised plan then?
Abercrombie and Associates are now working on these factors, okay?
Yeah.
And then they will go back to the preliminary plan staff to ask for it, to take it in. At the Planning Commission meeting that I attended, and Jeff was there too, they had 1 hour before the meeting, they had called Craig Flauter and told him they would like this to have been tabled for the next meeting, or could be the next meeting, which is April 8th, or 9th. Yeah, April 9th. Or it could be May, okay, the May meeting, because it's up to them to meet these fulfillments, or else it would still be denied. And rather than see it go before the Butler County Planning Commission and be denied there, they stopped it to work on it, all right? These are the steps they have to take in terms of all of that, all right?
So, Rob, if they
Yes.
create a new road, now, I know we talked about when private roads 1 to 2, they came in and inquired about becoming township roads. If they build the road to specs, is there a waiting period before the township takes it over? Or with a new road, I know there is a waiting period once they take existing private road, and if they were to bring that up to county specs, there is I thought there was a 1-year waiting period.
That is correct.
And then we take it over, the township.
The very first year, the county engineer's office will take care of it the first year when it's completed and brought to, meets the county specs.
Right.
The county maintains it for 1 year, and then we get it.
Is that same with new roads too?
That's with all roads.
All roads, okay. I just
Whether
wanted-
it's
Yeah.
a road that's been upgraded, or whether it's a brand-new road like they're talking about building here, the county maintains it for the first year. Now, The only thing that I'm not for sure of, I don't know if they do snow removal on it, but anything else they do on that first year.
Repair work?
Well,
Well, it would be a
one of the reasons
township
why
road.
they keep it for a year
Yeah.
is whoever builds it, if something fails during it, the contractor fixes whatever fails in that first year.
Yeah.
That's why the county has it before we get it.
But will it be listed as a township road or a county road
It'll be listed as a township road
Yeah.
after 1 year.
after 1 year? Okay.
Because they have to put up a bond and they'll
Yeah,
release the
correct.
bond. After 1 year, the commissioners release the
Correct.
bond.
And then at the end of that 1 year, when they go to release it, then we have the option to say, okay, we're accepting it, or we say, this has gotta be fixed, that's gotta be fixed,
Stipulation.
stipulations. At least that's how it worked when we did Clear Creek. That's the only road that I've been involved with that since I've worked here.
Which one was it?
Clear Creek.
Oh, okay.
That's the only new road that's been built to county specs that we have taken over since I've been here.
Now, our lane was built to county specs, but we chose not to turn it over. Yeah.
It's not wide enough. You gotta be 24 foot wide to be county spec. You might,
Okay.
at the time, they might have did the
At the
culverts
time,
and
it might have
stuff.
been because they had a big to-do about voting on it. I mean, yeah, like I said, yeah, that would be now today, wouldn't it? Yeah. But it
Anything
meant-
that has to be at least 24 foot wide with however big the
Cul-de-sac.
cul-de-sac's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Because like what they tried to, the cul-de-sac where you come in off of Hamilton County, don't remember the name of it, but they wanted that to be a public road. And they tried to turn it over, but the cul-de-sac wasn't big enough, so that's why it's a private drive. Because they wouldn't increase the size of the cul-de-sac. It's wide enough, and it met everything else, but the cul-de-sac was too small.
Probably had to go in 2 or 3 people's yards to do it, and they didn't want to do it, did they? Yeah. Well, if only one of them did.
Yeah, this has to meet the county specs for cul-de-sacs too as well. The
Yeah.
ability to turn the fire engine around in it without having to back up or do anything else like that. All right, anything else on this particular topic?
No.
I want to move back to number 2 for a moment. I'm going to start putting in, when I can, the minutes to the zoning commission meeting for you. Please understand, I didn't put draft over this. This is not approved yet because we haven't met for April to get this done. So normally it would say draft, and I forgot to do that today when I printed these out. So if you have any questions later in the meeting, the first meeting in April, you can ask me and we'll talk about them. And the last thing I have, and that should finish up, is I printed this out because it's a key thing of interest to me primarily, and everything else. As you know, the Senate has been looking at, the Senate Subcommittee on Housing has been looking at various ways to develop affordable housing in here. And one of the suggestions they're saying is to do away with zoning in the townships that have it, okay? And and OTA is coming out against it, all right? Primarily, and these are the talking points, so that anytime you get a chance to talk about zoning and the township being taken away, we can have some information to do, and everything else. Otherwise, that's it. Any questions for me?
Any questions? Nope. Okey-doke. All right, let's go to our fiscal officer, Tina.
Okay, I need trustees to approve a resolution for the fiscal office to obtain a Morgan Township credit card for Mark Minery as fire chief with the limit of $5,000.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Kolb?
Yes.
Mr. Brucker?
Yes.
Mr. Huff?
Yes? I didn't
Okay,
hear.
motion approved. Okay. Regarding the township's health insurance, the renewal is on May 1st, 2024, so we need to go ahead and take care of that tonight so that we have the month of April to collect the premiums from the employees. We have all decided that we prefer to go with Aetna, and it is cheaper than the Anthem. It would be a yearly savings of $9,214.56, because Anthem rate went up 37%.
Wow.
So,
Did Aetna have a price increase? We don't know what Aetna.
oh, I don't know what their price increase is. I'm just saying,
Do we know what, you know what the price is though, right?
yes,
Yeah.
it's $9,000 cheaper to take the
Okay.
Aetna than it is the Anthem.
How about the
So are we
cut?
doing this on our own, or are we still going through that Frank?
Yeah, it's from Frank. He
Okay.
gave us the choice of Anthem or Aetna. Those are the only two.
Okay.
They evidently, every place has skyrocketed.
Is it still comparable coverage? for the-
Yes, it is.
Okay.
It is.
Good.
Well, you read it, I was to say so moved instead of trying to repeat all
Okay.
that.
Oh, and I'm not gonna put all that. I just need a resolution
Okay.
to approve obtaining the health insurance through Aetna beginning May 1st, 2024 through April 30th, 2025.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Brucker?
Yes.
Mr. Kolb?
Yes.
Mr. Huff?
Yes.
Motion approved. Thank you. That's all I have, is just those two things, actually. I'm good.
Okay. All right, Mr. Kolb?
Yes. Just checking on, did you say we have 5 bids that we will be opening tomorrow, or
I
4?
think Amy's been taking care of that. I think there are 2 more were dropped up. I think there's 7.
7 bids, okay.
I believe so, 6 or 7.
Okay.
Don't hold me to it.
So that's
Yeah,
what
two were dropped off near 2
Yes.
o'clock.
Okay.
I picked them up.
Okay, so we will be reading those bids tomorrow at 2 o'clock, and then on the following day, we'll be selecting a contractor. That's all I have.
That's it? Okay, is that it?
That's all.
All right.
Yep.
Okay, Tom?
Mine is going to be covered under Chief's executive session, so I was just talking about the step-up pay, because we've always had step-up pay if a
Accordance to.
if a firefighter, paramedic stepped up to like a lieutenant position, it was a $1 an hour. You know, in case there was no officer on duty for that shift. But we have an incident now that a firefighter medic bumped up to a captain. When we appointed Jeff Maddox as acting captain,
Okay.
we need to talk about, is the dollar sufficient, or do we give more, because it's basically jumping 2 levels. So we'll talk about that back in executive session and come back with a
Okay.
decision.
Do you want to, we're going to go into executive session?
As soon as you get done with your
You
part,
want to do the audience, or?
you can do that.
I would do the audience pretty good.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, go
The
ahead.
audience
Yeah.
before you go.
Right? Okay, yeah, we're going to go into executive session. Before we do, though, is there anybody in the audience? Is there anybody in the audience that has anything? Want to bring?
Can you come up to the
Can
mic,
you just come up and say your name, huh?
please? We need it.
Yes,
It's got to be on record.
I don't know what I'm talking about.
Well, that's all right. Neither do I.
we'll help you.
Is that mic on, Mark?
She's just gonna talk.
No, it's
Just
not.
push that button.
Come on.
Bend it down toward you. There you
Just
go.
hold it. Hold it. I had that one on, so it worked.
Hello? Okay, can you hear me now? My name is Peter Rising. Do I need to say where I live too?
Yeah.
Yes,
Hey,
please.
Chief, you got a microphone. Give her,
Yeah,
set
I
her up,
can.
will you?
Did you get her first name?
Tree.
Just hold it, yeah.
Right. What-
I live on 4071 California Road.
Repeat your name. She didn't get it. I'm sorry.
Peter Rising.
Okay.
I just had a question as far as, I just came from a meeting from Ross Township, meeting with our state rep, Jennifer Gross.
Yeah.
So, is she scheduled, do you invite her to come and speak?
She does a town hall, and she goes to all her,
Alternate.
every township that she represents. So it's like every, I don't know, maybe every 4 months, she does a rotation. So we've had 2 town halls since she has been our state rep.
Now, is it possible that you guys put anything on your website letting us know when she's coming?
Can
So,
I add something just for a second? I just checked the calendar. She's going to be here on the 24th of June.
Here? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, 'cause she mentioned something about coming, she didn't, I didn't hear her say a date, so that's why I didn't know if, I missed the last time she was here, I was a week late, but we were talking, a lot of the concern was property taxes and the bill that is going into the Senate. They took out, instead of doing the, evaluating for the 3, they took the very last one. So my question is, I thought I had read an article about Morgan Township talking about either some type of assistance or some kind of help or something for the farmers, or is that correct or no? Do you have a home, do you have like a homestead for the Morgan Trust for like disability or seniors, or does Morgan Township have something like that?
We don't. The only thing that was brought up the other night was if you want to contest your tax bill, they're open to reviewing your tax bill.
Till April 1st.
So that the window's closing quickly.
Yeah, it's closing.
But
It's done.
you can,
But
is that
appraisal
something-
It's
to even
done.
do it?
You can't do it this year.
what about the April 1st? There's no,
No. I think it's done. I think it was done last week.
well, yeah, well, the bills have gone out and they're over,
this
actually,
year.
they're overdue
Yeah.
now. The bills were due, what,
There's a-
March, late March?
Right, we
So-
got we got our property, but I didn't know if there was any type of, with Morgan Township, I thought I had seen something when they had, all this was coming about, when we learned that, they were doing a different evaluation rather than, we went the expensive route rather than the practical route. So I didn't know if that was something we go through with our township to talk with you, to try to speak with her or any of that nature for our property values and helping any of the, there's a lot of low income, there's a lot of people that are on a
We haven't
fixed
forgotten.
income.
It's just when she
So-
comes in, it'll come up.
Okay,
So, and, yeah, everybody wants their taxes a reasonable amount, you can accept, but what they did was just unreasonable.
everybody was pretty much blindsided, so I didn't know what kind of role that we play as a township with any of trying to help or to get our voices heard with our representative or.
Well, you hit it on the nose, is Jennifer Gross, she's our conduit to the state. And I know she's standing up for this disaster on the property tax issue. So we're doing everything that we can, you're doing everything you can to go to those meetings and tell them how you feel.
Yeah.
Last Thursday, we had a Butler County Township Association meeting, and the county commissioner, Don Dixon, was there, and a representative from the treasurer's office, David Brown, was there. And they kind of got into a little bit of disagreement that, they were definitely not on the same page. The county commissioners are looking for relief for people to help them out because, like you said, there are, some elderly people that may not be able to stay in their house, because they can't afford the taxes. And so I know the county commissioners are pushing really hard. And it's probably above Jennifer Gross's. It's George Lang. He's our
Yeah.
state senator. So he's the one that would be signing that bill if anything gets passed. So,
Well, my understanding is he took out an important piece to help us get it lowered, but at the same time, it hasn't gone to the Senate yet. They haven't voted on it.
Right.
But I didn't know if there was anything that we can do as far as making our voices heard or writing a letter to help add to, when they do take it up for a vote, that they say, no, we're not going to do the jacked up price,
Right.
we want the proper evaluation.
I think from what I gathered hearing, Thomas Hall used to be our state representative, and then they redistricted, and then we got Jennifer Gross. I know those two are on the same page. I know George Lang. They are all on the same page as far as, trying to
Yeah,
get a
that's brought
bill
up at
passed.
Yeah, every county meeting, township association, it's brought up and it's discussed thoroughly. And so, they're working on it, but they're higher than us, of course, but we let them know, the people out here like you, come out and let us, be
Yeah, I
known.
just want to make my voice be heard,
will.
please.
No. We
When
hear
you're
ya.
at the next meeting, a lot of people are hurting. And, I just want to make sure that, I don't know how it's affected yours, but it's affected my family. So this whole COVID thing has affected my family so this has not been for the better, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Right.
So, that's all.
And I think some of the election results were came out the way they did because of this property reevaluation. And a lot of schools, districts didn't pass.
Yeah, but
because
they're
people
still gonna
can't-
get their money because of our property values are getting shot up, so Ross School District's still getting their money. So regardless of the levy
True,
failing,
but I
you
know
know,
Fairfield, I think, there was a couple different school districts
Yes,
that were
you're
just on the
correct.
ballot last week or
yeah,
earlier this month,
Killer.
Yeah.
and they didn't pass.
so I just, if you guys, with your meetings or where you go for discussions, if you could just push, hey, listen, let's get the proper evaluation because this is ridiculous. I'd appreciate it.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, it's a good thing you come up there, see?
I still don't know what I'm saying.
Okay, the only thing I got to report on is that went to the fire chief's dinner, and it was held this month. They hold it all over the county every other month, I believe. Is it every other month, Mark, or every month? Okay. And it was held at the Salty Dog, in Shandon, and Tom went, and Mike went, and Jeff went.
That's Mark.
And, they had a pretty good dinner, but that's a neat museum that Mark's got down there. So wish everybody could go see it during this summer when we have the Strawberry Festival. It's open. So.
Salty Dog.
Salty Dog
It's a museum. They've got, in the front part, they've got all
Down by Munchins.
like antique vehicles. In the back part is all fire equipment.
Yeah, I think there's a bar named that somewhere too, isn't there, a Salty Dog?
Yeah.
Somewhere. Okay, that's all I have. We're gonna go into executive session for, what's on,
I'll make a
Mark read it off, I think.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to go to executive session to consider the appointment, employment, dismissal, discipline, promotion, demotion, or compensation of a public employee or official.
Okay.
Second?
Mr. Brucker?
Yes.
Mr. Cole?
Yes.
Mr. Huff? Motion approved.
7:58. 7:58.
7:58 PM, okay. Are you?
Will do. Yep, you put your jacket on?
Okay. Batteries, yeah. Oh.
you
Yeah.
spend a lot of money on some sort of thing.
It's super,
And it's going to be so expensive that you
yeah. $10 she had to,
and I bet you at least anything about 4 years, not years ago,
maybe 10 or
just
something.
read those things that are from a zoning perspective. It's a lot, it's not. Well, I don't know. I learned from asking you if I was in the doing that.
Yeah.
And I asked the, and, he said, yeah. I don't know, I'll I'll keep coming, okay? Second, I can understand. Yeah, it'll happen, and then the eclipse will happen, okay? That's the same day, yeah. It'll be April the 8th. April the 8th. Those are on our website.
Yeah, I looked at it because I didn't.
No, it would be the Gus's water. Okay. Well, the state of Ohio has,
Well, then do it.
they have something that they don't squat. And I should have printed it out. The state of Ohio is one of the few states that actually has a time frame in which the house can be taken on the agenda.
She said she presented something in a piece of legislation, but it hasn't been brought up yet, so that's why I was curious, things that are going on. I just was curious to know what we have going on.
The biggest thing that's needed,
And he just now putting
the
doorknobs
biggest thing,
in the holes
that
in the
we're
door.
gonna
So the
do
doors haven't been able to shut tight, you know, and he doesn't
is not
want to be,
necessarily
he doesn't want.
solar.
He's called them more than he's saying, yeah, you know, than he's saying.
Someone who wants to.
I just not,
And not just the insulation. So all the air that's around the door, the windows,
Township
are
can
just
have
zipping right
jurisdiction
on.
over that if it's less than 50 megawatts. And we're coming in somewhere between 15 megawatts and 50. We
But
have
then
control.
Most of the interior wood in the house, so if I start that out, you did get that done. And then, you bring your glasses. He's up about a campground day. We don't know the situation here. Then he stopped at our campground, cover off, and talked about the people up there. And then I guess he was you on.
And then you have some, I mean, how are you or I able to say to that gentleman,
Little stuff now.
well, Riley Township can say that.
Exactly, so they can say no. It's like, you know, when you bought your property, what you couldn't predict, so this guy has to be the same way.
But if the property is going to sell, is it zoned manufacturing one, you can have it on that.
So come on now.
It's producing we will beg the difference.
Reroute the water so it doesn't come down around my house, and that is working. But if you get 5 inches of rain in 2 hours, I don't know if it'll hold the regions closer to us. Call doing the best we can, so.
You'll see
That
that,
doesn't work, then
it was
tile that lower
and
ceiling.
that these people that have to live around these homes because there's nobody there.
Then I'll have a piece of land. Yeah.
One of the regulations in this, one of the regulations in
It's like, you know, yeah. I'm going to Bill Sunday.
outlines everything that I know she's using it as an example. I mean, if you follow anything about Dave's case, we did actually, I just started on that, they just yellow and off. I mean, like, at least we don't know the whole file. Well, the gentleman, we have some regulations that were off. Yeah. And he had built this deck, the deck house years ago. That was someone else's work there. But on the stone stairs. Came out the side of the house. And the post, the support of it itself, church is a 25-foot setback. That's what it's never said it didn't destroy it, but he said it didn't have to be destroyed. But he's making it cost too much. So now he goes to put on top steps. And if he can ingress and egress out of these messes, they ride and don't want you. It's fine. There's some regulations that allow it. Whether you're there or something. The three of us are going to go into the setback. Well, the person against it said no. She just said, no. Yeah, where'd they come from? There's only three at the meeting, three of the last meeting. It was a hairy 3 months from. 6 or 7. That's a long time to get you. Wow. It was actually probably 30 years.
Association.
I'll make a motion to come back in session at 8:32.
Second?
Mr. Huff?
Yes.
Mr. Brucker?
Yes.
Mr. Cole?
Yes.
Motion approved.
All right, I want to make a motion to, for step-up pay for anyone that steps up to a captain level would be $3 an hour. And mainly, it would be Jeff Maddox, and that would be retroactive to his appointment to acting captain, which I can't remember the exact date, but you got it right.
Yeah, I have.
Okay.
That's your motion?
My motion, yeah. to-
Second.
Mr. Brucker?
Yes.
Mr. Huff?
Yes.
Mr. Cole?
Yes.
Motion approved.
Okay. Anything else?
No? All right, do I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second?
Mr. Brucker?
Yes.
Mr. Cole?
Yes.
Mr. Huff?
Motion passed, meeting over.
Motion approved.
8:33.
Got to use my gallon. Thank you, thank you. Made my day.